know.
How will I know?
Yeah. The last question.
Yep.
It's Sara Hendrickson at Sara Lily Art.
Oh, hey, Sarah.
Yeah. Can you tell me what the inspiration for Home Life was? It conjures up such evocative images for me.
Let's see. That one, I mean, I think you're both talking about like the lyrics. That was a real like sort of stream of consciousness song. But I was trying to think a lot about how just like memories from childhood when I grew up in Baltimore, and how when I looked out from my back window, which looked over this sort of alley, but the alley was across it was a vacant lot, and then just from right where we were, you could see a fairly long distance, and there were some kind of like radio towers in the distance with red lights on them, and I felt like that was like the edge of the world out there, you know, like that was as far away as I could imagine going. And I remember a globe that I had when I was a kid, and then actually that line about like, actually I remember like rubbing my fingers all over like the Himalayas and stuff, and just like I loved all the bumpy parts of the world, and thinking about, looking at where Baltimore was, and thinking about all these other places in the world. And some of the rest of it, I couldn't even tell you exactly where it came from. I guess I was reading a lot of the Matheson stuff, and I just read Tigers in the Snow, which is about the Amur tigers, the last living tigers in Siberia. So that turned up in there, and then. But my favorite part of it is probably that last part, which is definitely the most stream of consciousness. On that, like to start off the top of my head. I think in the Missing Pieces thing, I included the demo for that, and a lot of those demos for Rook and some of the other ones, I just sort of made up stuff on the spot, which is a really good technique. A lot of times you get really good lines out of that out of nowhere.
Wow.
That you wouldn't ordinarily think of, and so there were a few in that I remember that I kept and put into the last thing. The only thing I've always regretted about that one is that there's a little bass line in it that goes doo 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 doo, and I always wished I'd sort of emphasized a little bit more on the acoustic guitar part. That ship has sailed. You know, actually, this is a funny Peter Matheson story. I saw a copy of his novel Far Tortuga that had belonged to him, and I opened it up and I was looking at it, and he was writing corrections in the margin, like it's already published and it's gone. Like, you've got to
just let it go.
You gotta let it go.
I already bought this thing.
Yeah, it's too late.
That's funny. All right. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Great.